Tuesdays, Show Me the Money Club, live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Or you can catch us on podcasting platforms on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's going on, Sergio? I hope you're, you got the N95 mask. You got some clear air you're breathing instead of some smoke. How's it going over there?
We're fine. We're good. No N95 mask, bro. Part of the good part of living in the hills is it blows all that garbage away right away. So, but yeah, we're going to talk about this anyway. So, yeah, we're good. I think this episode is over. So,
yeah, it's pretty crazy from everything that I've seen when it comes to, the whole Palisades, Malibu, everything, and all beyond. So it's crazy. But yeah. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But beyond that, how's everything going? Pretty good.
Good, yeah, excellent. Just working, doing my thing, and hanging in there, and on top of everything else, my pool filter blew up, so now I can't get anybody to show up because they're all busy. But then we're gonna figure it out and get that fixed. But yeah, everything's fine. You have
all right. That's all right, because the helicopters are flying over and grabbing your water and taking it.
Yeah, I sent you that. Remember, I sent you that video. Scoop the lady with it out of the pool. Yeah. But no, you know what it is. Times like this, seriously, puts everything into perspective. Right, your health is the most important thing, and I will talk about it anyway. So.
Well, I think the biggest thing on that is it just shows that most of the shit that people care about or worry about just does not matter. Like it's all noise, and you just get lost in the noise. But if you just focus on what really matters, you can have a whole different life. And I think that can clearly sum up a lot of people what they have to go through when it comes to
their struggle is just beginning. I mean, 12,000 homes burned. So
yep.
We'll see what happens. But be resilient, stay healthy, be diligent, all those things. So.
Well, on the plus side, go Bills.
I may have to buy a Bills jersey if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Might have to. Yeah, you might have to.
If they make it to the Super Bowl, I promise you, I'm going to buy a Bills jersey and watch the game with the Bills jersey on. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. Well, either way, next on Sunday, 6:30 Eastern is the next game, Bills v. Ravens. So it's going to be a good game there. So go Bills. Good luck. Go Houston. Knock out KC. But either way, it's good to see. So with that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about what we're going to be talking about today. And that is quite a few things. We're going to be talking about some of the LA fires and the effect on drivers. We kind of began that, but we're going to get into it a little bit more. Uber's offering free trips to teens failing driver license test. I wonder why they're doing that. Then Uber and Lyft are rushing on robotaxis and what's going to happen to drivers. Also, Uber is issuing commercial insurance warnings to more drivers. Uber wins screwing drivers and riders with NYC congestion pricing. We're also going to be talking about Uber is suing to stop Colorado. Oh my God, I can't fucking talk today. Holy shit. Colorado legislation. It's going to be a fun motherfucking episode. Let me tell let's be real. The reason why I'm all twisted is because trying to do a website is a mother effer. But either way, that's where my mind's at. Uber driver extensive list, car rules gone viral. Then we're going to go to our Q&A. So anybody who puts in any questions or anything like that, we're going to, take note of that during the show. And then we will get back to you guys in the comments at that point. Same thing with any super chats. So we'll shout you out there at that point. And then we're going to have our driver's corner. So we'll have 2 or 3 drivers come on and talk for a few minutes about what's going on with a couple of things. And we'll go from there. So with that being said, let's get right into today's announcements. You build websites.
Oh, Brandon says he builds websites right there. Hire him.
Shoot me an email. Because let me tell you, integration of a CRM into a WordPress website is driving me bonkers. But either way, let's go on to the announcements. And if you wouldn't mind kindly liking and sharing the show, and also if you'd like to become a member and help support the channel, you can do so by joining There's a couple of different tiers that you can join at. And also, if you speak Spanish or know somebody who does, RSG is en español. So you want to go check it out. And it's pretty cool because the AI now moves the mouth to what you're speaking. So even though we're speaking English, when we run it through the program, it converts it to Spanish and it looks like we are speaking Spanish. So no more Godzilla effect. It's pretty cool. Check that out if you want to go see that. It's pretty cool, I gotta say. Also, if you want more in-depth content from Rideshare Guy or want to get notified when specials and YouTube doesn't notify you and things like that, make sure you check out the free RSG newsletter. Link is going to be in the description, so you can sign up right there and get some good stuff. Sergio writes some articles. Jay does as well. A couple other of our contributors also write the articles. So pretty good when it comes to that, and it's free. So why not? Also, if you want
I talked to Jay today.
I did too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think I talked to him right after you because he said he was talking to
you. Yeah.
So yes, and if you want some merch, it is available. Link is in the description. So go from there. And then Sergio, I know you want to talk about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So last week we had an amazing driver come on live, actually, and in our driver corner that we're going to do again today. So, at the end, please come on down. Don't be shy. I interviewed him actually day or 2 days after that for Behind the Wheel. So Behind the Wheel is something we've been doing for about 1.5 years now. Super, super popular, really. It's like a fireside chat with the driver, experienced, newbie, whatever they may be, whatever they can add to as far as benefiting the driver, I'm all in. So if you have a good story, if you have something to talk about, look, we put equal amounts on there, right? We put equal amounts of bashing Uber and Lyft, and we put equal amounts of good things about the rideshare world, which there are. So it's not all negative. Let's stay on the positive end. But if you're interested in doing an interview with me, I'll shoot you a Zoom link. I'll record it and we'll put it on the channel. We don't edit, really, honestly. There is no, we don't pull punches. You can say whatever the heck you want.
Yeah, this isn't CBS.
Yeah, we don't censor. We don't do any of that stuff. So shoot me an email, sergio@therideshareguy.com. Give me like a paragraph, not too long, a little paragraph about what you want to talk about. And if we do pick you, I'll get back to you and send you a Zoom link, and we'll hop on and talk about it for about 20-25 minutes, and we'll put it on the channel. And so I'm looking for candidates for Behind the Wheel.
Oh, yeah. And, it's always got great conversation, too, because everybody's story is different, and finding out what they're doing or where their mindset is and all that stuff. It's really cool to see. And yeah, I mean, you get a good array of people when it comes to who's on there, who's talking, and all that stuff. So the next one that's coming up on Thursday, we had our guest come on Driver's Corner last week. And yeah, it was a pretty cool conversation that he had. And now it's a Behind the Wheel episode that'll be coming out on Thursday. So if you're interested, by all means, shoot Sergio an email and we can share your story.
Yep. Please do.
All right. With that being said, let's move into our first topic, talking about the LA fires and what happened, what's going on there. In fact, one of our guests that we've had on the show, unfortunately, their house had burned down.
Yeah. So this is a sad part of the show, and we put it up front because, we're not going to forget about it. Obviously, these things are going to take years to rebuild, literally years. And if you do follow me on X, appreciate it. If you don't, please go into the show notes, follow me on X. I put a bunch of short videos on there, pretty much doing like an update on the fires and what's going on, because so I have a finance channel, and Chris obviously is the manager of that too. But I was doing Power Hour last Friday, and right at the end, when I was going to show them my portfolio and my positions and whatever, we get the evacuation order because a fire started a mile from my house. So my sincerest gratitude, thanks to all the firefighters, first responders who saved lives. And it takes a special kind of human being to run into a fire, as opposed to the natural instinct being to run away from a fire. these people, these helicopter pilots, amazing, absolutely amazing. It looks like things are under control. Unfortunately, I tweeted this out as soon as I've learned from her. This is Nicole Moore. She's the president, volunteer president, by the way, of the Rideshare Drivers United, with 20,000 drivers in LA area. Unfortunately, she lost her home, and that's the picture of her home from Altadena area. Started a GoFundMe page. I even tagged, as you guys can see, Dara and David Risher. I am not going to say I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure that they both did donate under anonymous. This GoFundMe was raised because it met the target of originally $15,000 within less than 24 hours. So if you're interested, go to GoFundMe and contribute. She's an amazing, amazing person. She lost everything. So I personally know a bunch of people who lost everything in Pacific Palisades and Malibu and Altadena area. So, my heart goes out to everyone who has lost a loved one or pretty much every possession that they own, memories, whatever not, to these fires. But that's the sad part of it, that, get the priorities straight. And then, as we all know, Uber and Lyft both started offering immediately to the affected people, or in the affected areas, to the riders in that area, free trips or discounted trips on their platforms. Well, I'm not going to, you guys know me, I'm not going to shy about it. So these are my texts with both Uber and Lyft executives that I know, who I said, would Uber, the blue one is mine, would Uber be able to help LA and vicinity drivers who have lost homes or are displaced? Maybe an assistance hotline or some sort. It'll be good for the community as well as a good optics for Uber. I will mention it on Tuesday's show. If there is a decision, you guys can mention me. I don't mind. I'm working on it, is the answer. I know folks that are trying to get an understanding of the scale. I said, okay, thanks. I know Uber is offering help to riders, but drivers specifically may need help. They may be in rentals for which they may not be able to pay for. And the answer was, yes, we totally agreed. Something is in the works. I will definitely do a short or do a video and explaining what's coming. I do appreciate it, to listening to me, and hopefully we will be able to, help the drivers specifically. I understand riders are riders, but our goal is to help drivers. And this is my text going back and forth with Lyft. So I said the same thing to the Lyft executive. She came back with the usual disaster response part. I said, we have this that we're doing, but there is probably more we can do. Let me ask our policy team, but it's not for drivers specifically. And I said, come on, with her name. That's for the rider. A lot of drivers may have lost their homes, specifically in Altadena. Some may be left in Lyft rentals who may not be able to pay for them. We need driver-specific help. And I told her about RDU's Nicole Moore, and she said, yes, we're working on it. Please be patient. We will come up with something to specifically help the driver community. So I appreciate both people who are listening, and hopefully something is coming down the pike to help just the driver community, not just the riders.
We'll keep you posted on anything as well too. So make sure you stay tuned, especially if you're a driver in the area. When it comes to it, I don't expect any drivers or people to be that were affected to be on the show at this moment. But if they turn around and see it down the road, we'll keep you posted on things. And hopefully,
if you're affected, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. If you are in any shape or form affected, I'm going to start creating a spreadsheet with all the names and contact numbers. And then if and when and Uber and Lyft do something about the drivers, at least I have your contact info. So, you'll be first up pretty much.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep you posted on everything as usual. And we'll move on to our next topic. So Sergio, you got a child that's kind of around the driving age, correct?
I got two. Yeah.
Oh, two. Does one have their license yet?
Yeah. One passed flying colors. The other one is about to be there.
Oh, crap. Well, you know what? Let me tell you, if him, right, your son?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, him.
if
Yeah.
he fails the first time, guess what happens? Uber is going to offer him free rides for those who fail their
Ha
driving
ha ha.
exams. So you know what? Because you were expecting him to be able to get up and go, and he won't
Yeah.
be able to because he doesn't have his own license,
Uh-huh.
and he can't drive himself to soccer. You still have to do that.
Uh-huh.
Well, lo and behold, you can now use Uber Teen. Oh wait, I forgot. Uber Teen doesn't work in California.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Oh snap! We got that one going. We got that one going. Yeah, I saw this. This was kind of interesting. What do you think about this, Chris? Why do you think they're
You know
doing
what? I know exactly why they're doing it. One, they're trying to get more teens onto the account,
this? Oh
and they're
shit.
trying to get more people using Uber as a long-term solution versus getting your own car. So it's like, oh, hey, I don't need to drive. Why? Why would I have to? Because all I have to do is order an Uber, and there it is. And we're getting free rides for the time being. So hey, I want to go and do this at 3 a.m. in the morning, and no big deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is some good side to it when it comes to, yeah, if you're a parent and you're like, oh, you were supposed to get out of my house by doing things, and I am already busy doing other stuff. But when it comes down to it, Uber Teen still not the best thing, and there's still some holes that need to be plugged up in order for it to be much safer and much better. And then dealing with teens in the car as a driver, such a pain in the ass. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to deal with kids, go
Would.
become a bus driver. You might not
Yeah.
want to do that for much longer, but either way, there is good and there is bad when it comes to it, and just think it's a way of grooming the next generation to take over into becoming customers of the Uber platform.
Yeah. No question about it, right? I mean, that's one way you grow. You almost guarantee future growth, right? When the second they turn 18, they can have those teen accounts are going to turn into adult accounts. What easier way to get more riders on the platform, right? But so this was a battle. Actually, I've been against this for a while, at least in California anyway. And then the CPUC, my hats off to the CPUC, California Public Utilities Commission. They said all Uber Teen drivers will have to go through fingerprint background checks and drug testing, which all the other companies who are allowed to transport kids and teens around, such as Hop, Skip, and Drive. So why, for about a year, Uber got a pass because they said, oh, we primarily do, our business is primarily adults, so we don't have to have our drivers go through more stringent background checks. And then after a year of me just literally just bugging them, I'm not saying it's about me, but all I know is that they did listen. I guarantee you that. And and I'm not laughing about this. This is serious shit. And my my contact at CPUC, one morning, we talked about it, wake up, and I go, yep, Uber drivers who do Uber Teen trips have to go through these background checks. My hat's off to the CPUC. Maybe you should talk to your own Public Utilities Commission or whoever is in charge of the TNCs in your city or state. If you're against Uber Teen, he may go somewhere.
Yeah, especially after that amount of pestering. Who knows? But
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a way just for them to get the next generation. And I mean, you see it with the congestion pricing that they were pushing. They're just trying to get more people into their service so they can continue growing. So they're trying these different tactics because, honestly, the remainder of people is probably almost at its saturation point. So that means if you don't have an Uber account, you're probably not going to get one. Or if you're using it, you're probably going to continue using it. So I don't think they're going to gain many more people. And so they're having to use these types of techniques to try to get new growth coming. And that would include going after the younger generation with teens and kind of grooming them for the next ability of the platform. And then also things like putting in congestion pricing in cities that would allow it, like New York City, and all of that stuff. So
Yeah,
that's
for
my
sure.
IMO.
Yep. No, I agree with you. So yeah. So if you have
All
a
right.
team
Well,
that failed, they'll have a free Uber.
well, you know what? Here's the thing. First of all, I forgot to grab that clip. Damn it. a great show that just came out on ABC. I believe it was on Wednesday, called Shifting Gears with Tim Allen and Kat Dennings.
Oh,
Basically,
yeah.
where Tim Allen is a father of Kat Dennings in a strange relationship, and so she comes back home with two kids, and kind of hit rock bottom, and so it's a brand new show. And the one kid, the oldest, didn't know how to drive, so he took him out to go for a drive. And if you ever watch Last Man Standing,
Mhm.
there was always a uh, part where Tim Allen would be talking to the camera as a vlog and going off on whatever it might have been. So he kind of did that within this episode, but it was like much shorter. And it was about Uber and teens driving and learning how to drive. And he was very much on the side of learn how to drive, become independent, and don't rely on these types of things when it comes to Uber and everything else. So I wish I had that clip, but I didn't get it yet. So hopefully we'll get it
All
at
right.
one point. But it was
Yep.
absolutely hilariously done. So if you want to go check it out, it's on Disney Plus if you have it. Disney Plus and Hulu. Um, you can watch Shifting Gears and see exactly what I'm talking about. Funny part, but
Yeah.
yeah, it just
Okay.
reminded me of that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about robotaxis. Why is Uber and Lyft rushing to get there, and what effect is this
Mhm.
going to have on
Mhm.
drivers?
Yeah.
Sergio. Oh
The
crap!
next
Wrong
next one
slide.
then.
Technical
Okay. So,
difficulties.
yeah, this is like a little two-parter, so please take notes on this. And the link is going to be in the show notes of what's coming up. Uber and Lyft will roll out Robotaxi this year, but there's a problem. Well, we talked about this quite often, what the Waymo problem is, and we see all these videos on TikTok or whatever, how they get stuck in cement, and how they go against the traffic once in a while. Most of the time, I've been in 5 or 6 of these things in LA. They drive well. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it. But the ride-hailing giants are preparing to deploy driverless taxis soon. Okay, cool. Plenty of questions remain unanswered. The two ride-hailing giants are reportedly preparing to deploy robotaxis with new app features and are building the required support infrastructure in select U.S. cities where they will operate. Well, we already know they operate in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, in Phoenix. Some places they can even go to the airports, such as Phoenix. They have an exclusive they have it in Austin. They have an exclusive between Uber and Waymo to be in Atlanta this year, actually. So it will mark the beginning of a huge shift for urban transportation. No, but that's okay. But all eyes will be on how the companies earn public trust and tackle challenges like vandalism, complex traffic situations, and adverse weather. We talked about this just last week, Chris. Remember
Mhm.
how the people are cutting these Waymos off with hot girls in them, and then they're just, look, man, there is a downside to this. I mean, this is like, I'm not going to say this is a fad. This is going to happen. But there's a downside to this. You have to think of the downside of what these Waymos are, and to talk about those. If driver community is going to be completely wiped out or affected by these things, my answer is no. It's been no for the last 6 months, and it's going to be no for the next 10 years. No, because of scale. At the moment, Uber and Lyft have 8 drivers in each corner of each city. There is not a goddamn chance on the planet they can create that much density for these Waymos. And a lot of people go, ooh, Waymo did 500,000 trips last month. Uber does 1.2 million trips every hour on the hour, 24/7, 365. What the big deal with 500,000 trips? Inevitably, ultimately, this is going to happen. However, not now. And to go further into it, on the I don't know if you put up the screenshot or not, but I'm going to, okay, so the link is hopefully is in the show notes. So
Yep.
I was invited to be part of a debate by Roth. Roth is MKM. They're like a massive Wall Street analyst community. So I am going to be I'm going to be debating Mr. Timothy Lee, who's a journalist who I have worked with in the past. I guess he's taking the yay robotaxi side, and I'm going to take the other side. But and we're going to be doing that, and it's free. Okay, so go click on the link and register, and come watch me destroy Timothy Lee. Although Timothy Lee is he's quoted me a couple of his articles. I'm going to be nice to him to a point, but he's a Harvard MBA or some sort of Ivy League MBA, and who am I? Some joker on YouTube. So let's see how that debate goes, Chris. I don't know.
Well, it is just so you know, it's January 21st at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Pacific time. So that is going to be next week. So you're
Yeah,
going to
so
have
if you're
your full when it
interested,
comes to
yeah,
your day on Tuesday next week, because you've got
it's in the
that
morning.
show, and then right after that, you got this show.
Yeah, man, it's in the morning though. This is at 10 a.m. It's only going to be an hour. So if you're interested, please go register. It's free. You guys, if you're interested in your future or as a rideshare driver of how Waymo and Tesla is going to affect you, I would highly recommend that you tune in and just listen in. You don't have to watch it; just listen in.
Yep, I think we might have to see if Timothy will come on the show after that and see if the pieces can be picked up.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much I insult him.
Either way, we could keep the debate going on here. All right. Well, with that being said, yeah, I agree. I don't think robotaxis are really going to pose any true threat to the driver community for quite a while. There's a lot of things that need to be sorted out before this can even become a real conversation. I think this is all speculation at this point, because, yeah, you have some, but when it comes to scale, as you said, they just don't have it. They don't have it yet. You can't put it out there. I mean, there's 7 million drivers worldwide. Where the hell are you going to get 7 million worth of cars for drivers on the road at any time soon? How much money are you going to have to put behind it? Not only that, we're going to have to talk about a lot of legal issues. There is a lot of red tape when it comes to trying to curtail the law, because, like, in New York State, Sergio left. In New York State, you cannot operate self-driving, or I'm sorry, full autonomous driving. It is not allowed by law. So you're going to have to go in and change laws. So first off, that's going to take a while. And secondly, the problem with these things is when it comes to liabilities. When there's an accident, who's going to be at fault? Will it be, say, Uber and Lyft, or will it be Waymo? So there's a couple of things that need to be answered there when it comes to it, at least in my opinion. Yes, this will all get sorted out, but it's definitely going to be a long time from now. It's not going to be something where Elon Musk has gone on and said, "Oh, we're going to have robotaxis all over the place from Tesla," and things like that. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic yet. It will happen, but it's not going to be anytime soon.
There goes the internet.
Dun dun dun.
We still have like 40-mile-an-hour winds today, so yeah, it could happen again. So I'm like, hey.
Melissa, ask your question. We'll get to it at the end.
Yeah, please.
All right. With that being said, let's move on to our next topic about commercial insurance. And trust me, if you're in California, it's only going higher. Woo, baby.
Thanks, Chris.
Dude, you gotta leave, man. You gotta get out of there.
You don't trust me. You don't want to get me going there. I'm not going to go there. Okay, so this email was received not just by me. Supposedly, Uber is having issues in a lot of states with high commercial insurance rates. And so they sent me this email saying California law requires commercial auto insurance, blah blah blah, saying, "Oh, it's so high. What does this mean for you? The cost of state-required commercial auto insurance makes up a significant portion of the fare on each of your trips. As of November 2024, on average, 31% of every rider's fare goes directly to mandatory insurance costs. Uber, it is part of your cost of doing business, just like my personal insurance is for me. This is for you. Stop bitching and moaning. This is it. I got nothing to do with it. So this means that if a rider pays $30 for a ride, on average, more than $9 goes to commercial insurance costs for that trip. Maybe, Uber, you shouldn't put every, Joe and whatever, on your platform. I'm kind of thinking, commercial insurance companies, Chris, are figuring out that Uber drivers are the worst drivers on the planet. And let's just jack up these rates, bro. So I'm going like, yeah, but long story short, we talked about this a couple of months ago when it first came out. Uber is
Mhm.
offering reimbursement I think it was 46 cents in San Diego County or down south, and dollar a mile in LA. And I had a contact with brother on wheels who sent me some screenshots, and he is an Uber Black driver, so he already has his commercial insurance. So Uber is sticking true to the word. They have a pilot going that if you do acquire your own commercial auto insurance, they will reimburse you $1 per mile for P3 only, by the way, only when a butt is in the back seat, not
And
for anything else.
in LA only,
In
because
LA, LA County
it does
only.
vary around different areas where they are offering this reimbursement. Because not
Yes.
everywhere is offering it.
No, just this is a pilot that they're testing in LA County and San Diego County. So he sent me this. He goes, "Hi, Sergio. I'm an Uber Black driver. I have my own commercial insurance. I have a 2023 Tesla Model Y, and the commercial insurance premium is $12,400 a year. So what is that? $1,000 a month, right? And
About,
the
yep.
commercial insurance is for $750,000. Uber's is a hocus pocus $1 million with a $2,500 deductible. His seems like pretty decent, and I'll bet you anything, his commercial insurance covers a lot more than Uber's commercial insurance, because as we know, in period 1, period 2, Uber's commercial insurance is useless, pretty much, and with a $2,500 deductible. So he did a few X trips as an Uber Black driver. These are both all X trips. Look at that. Uber, it was 14.7 miles. Uber reimbursed them $1 a mile as a promotion. So if some other people are interested in being okay, so you don't have to be a Black driver, meaning not a Black platform driver. You can be driving like a, I don't know, 2017 Prius and doing X, and you could get your own commercial insurance, and Uber will, if you're in LA County, Uber will reimburse you $1 a mile for P3. Now, let's say you can get a commercial insurance like this guy, about $1,000 a month. Let's make sense. If you drive 1,000 miles a week on P3, that means you're a full-time driver. You're doing a couple hundred trips a week. This may make sense. You may come out $3,000 ahead. You may make $3,000 more dollars. So if you're testing this, please email me, Sergio@rideshareguy.com, just like this gentleman did. He already has commercial insurance because he has to as an Uber Black driver. But this is actually, I may test this out, Chris, because this makes sense. $1 a mile. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely good if you can get the right price, if you drive the right amount of miles. It's definitely worth it. The thing though is that I worry about is that people will get comfortable with the fact that they're getting this, let's say, $4,000 as a hypothetical. They're getting, if you're driving 1,000 miles a week in P3. Let's be specific there. If you're driving 1,000 P3 miles and you are getting $1,000 per week, let's say that's 4,000 a month, and your cost is only 1,000. Well, it might be a matter of time until Uber says, well, you know what? Our insurance costs have gone down a little bit, so we're going to pay you, instead of a mile or $1 a mile, we're going to start paying you 75 cents a mile. So now you just got it cut down from 4,000 to 3,000 if you're still driving the exact same. And that $1,000 you might be comfortable with, very much so. And then poof, there goes $1,000. So that's one of the things I think that most people need to realize is, even though you may be making more because you could get your own personal insurance, commercial insurance at a lower rate, and actually, get some sort of profit, I think you need to realize that that's kind of a bonus there. And unfortunately, it may go just like a lot of other things have. So just be aware of that. Just don't be like, oh yeah, I made $12,000 this month because I have my own commercial insurance, and $4,500 came from this reimbursement. And then, lo and behold, something happens, or the pilot just decides, this isn't going to be worth it for us. In my opinion, though, I think that the pilot should be probably pretty successful, because I think drivers who do have better coverage and who are better drivers, even though it doesn't necessarily mean you as a driver, it's the area around you, and a lot of things there. So I think it's good because it creates more competition when it comes to insurance, and you have more leeway of trying to search for different offers that could be potentially available to you as a driver. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. And if it's worth it for you in terms of the amount of time that you're actually driving, then
Yeah.
it could be something. But if you're doing this something where it's your weekend warrior, if you're doing
Yeah,
it, less than a part time, it might not be worth it at that point. And that's where you got to run your numbers and see what's going on when it comes to it. So we'll see what
yeah, I agree.
happens.
This
But,
is
I
I
think it's
agree.
good
Yeah,
overall.
I think $1 a mile for LA County is good, but I agree with you, right? In rideshare, there is nothing guaranteed. They can, just like how they move cars around in different platforms or eliminate cars altogether from a platform, which we have seen over the last year and a half or so, right? Lyft did it with Black, and Uber is doing it now with all these minivans and things like that, right? To do comfort. They can do whatever they want. And then, when you do buy commercial insurance, I don't think you can do month to month. I think you can do pony up like 6 months or a year at a time. And yeah, you may be stuck with it. So if you're going to try it, though, please get in touch with me, Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. I'd like to see the process, how you did it, what you went through, and your earnings. Are you making, more money? I mean, it looks like you should be making more money, period. Because for a 14-mile trip, getting the regular upfront fare of 12 plus another 14 is 26. In your dreams, you're going to get $26 for that trip. You know what I mean? As an ex-driver.
Yep.
So yeah, give it a shot. And if you do try it, please email me, Sergio at the rideshareguy.com.
Yep. I like the idea. I've been talking about that for a while, saying that if you can carry your own insurance, that you should be able to be reimbursed, not having them pay for it or take it. And who knows what kind of hocus pocus math they're doing on their end. But either way, the other side too is that's probably why they should not have got rid of all their good drivers by listening to fake complaints that deactivated drivers. You might want to rethink some of the people that you deactivated, but they probably have moved on and don't really want to come back because you've left a really bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
So, they kind of shot themselves in the foot there when you're getting rid of it. And when you're trying to get more and more and more drivers, you're going to start scraping the bottom of the barrel and get some real shitty drivers that shouldn't be driving. And, you can see people on X complaining how cars are damaged and, things aren't working properly and, tore seats and all these things that are happening. So yeah, it's becoming a little bit of a problem there too.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree that, bottom of the barrel is correct. A lot of shitty cars, a lot of shitty drivers out there.
All right. Well, with that being said, yes, if you have your own commercial insurance and are in this pilot, let us know. Keep us posted, and we would love to know a little bit more information on how it's working for you. And with that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about how before we were saying how Uber was real good with drivers, but now let's talk about how they're screwing drivers and passengers both with congestion pricing in New York City.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to one of our audience members who emailed me, Sergio, look at this. I go, okay, what is it? And then he sent me the link. He actually, I don't know, should I give him his name? No, it's not given. Okay. Well, Terry, you know who you are. There you go, Terry. I'm not going to give you the last name. Terry sent me the link of this article actually, and he called the New York Post. Remember last week, or was it last? Yeah, last week we talked about first episode of the year. We talked about how Uber was cutting the
Tolls
tolls
going into the
going
city.
right. Remember, we said now their drivers are going to make less money, and then he got a hold of the New York Post and talked to him. And sure enough, New York Post did a good article about this. So Terry, keep it up. That's how you guys keep things in the news. If you have something to share, journalists are interested. Unlike they were maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, they wouldn't write anything bad about Uber. There are a whole bunch of people now. They go like, yeah, screw these people. They're not afraid of them anymore. So greedy Uber is using congestion pricing tolls to slash driver wages. There we go. We just talked about this last week. Surprise, surprise. On top of adding $1.50 surcharge for customers. So what is that called? That's called burning the candle on both ends. We charge the rider more, we pay the drivers less. So the ride-hailing giant, a major cause of New York City's gridlock streets and among the biggest supporters. And by the way, Uber and Lyft both campaigned for this, people.
I
They
wonder
did. They
why.
campaigned. They campaigned for congestion pricing, Chris. I wonder why. Why did they do that, you think? Yeah.
Trying to get more people on their platform. What we talked
Yeah,
about with
yeah,
Uber
yeah.
Teen.
Exactly. So Uber previously credited its 100,000 plus New York and New Jersey drivers $20 for trips between New York City and the Garden State to help compensate for tolls. Well, they just cut that to 16 now. I'm going like, no. Anyway, and then now we know, driver will get screwed ultimately. But now the rider is also getting screwed because within those 5 boroughs or whatever the congestion pricing is applicable, right? Even if you take an Uber outside that area as a rider, Chris, Uber is charging you the congestion pricing. And here's a tweet that I saw. I mean, here's from Fox 5 New York. And this gentleman, they did like a little video about it. New York State benefit surcharge, Uber One credits. See, MTA congestion surcharge below 60th Street. The guy goes, I was nowhere near there. He goes, Uber is charging the riders too now. Uber is like, and look at this headline. Uber algorithm blamed for congestion pricing charge mistake. Now the writer is learning about the algorithm glitches and mistakes. What do you say about that, Chris?
I say they better pony up because they're going to have a lot of people who are going to see this. And we've seen what they've had to do when it comes to reimbursements time and time again. So this is probably nothing really new for them, but it's something that they're definitely going to have to tackle, especially if it is outside 60th and up. So
yeah. Well, I mean, this is now the rider is getting a taste of what drivers have been getting for 10 years. The algorithm blamed for congestion pricing charge mistakes. Good luck trying to get that money from Uber, the $1.50, sir, madam, whoever you are. And
they will.
End with,
they will. They'll get it back because
they immediately reimburse
below
the
60th,
rider. You know how that
show the trip isn't below 60th. You got to, I mean, the reality is $1.50, but like, how much is that really going to affect you? But it will.
Well, how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of trips does Uber do? And that $1.50, remember, we catch all these, right? All I'm saying is that now Uber is just like screwing the rider as well. And some riders go like, hold on a second, this is wrong. I shouldn't have paid the $1.50. And then to end with the growing industry, which meaning Uber and Lyft, which lobbied hard for congestion pricing despite union opposition and got a huge boost last year when the city lifted a cap on how many for-hire vehicles can be on the road, and then started the what? The lockouts, right? Okay. Stands to make a killing. No shit. Because the new surcharge is cheaper than the $9 toll private vehicles now pay to enter parts of Manhattan, and the nearly $3 pay the passengers pay to take subways and buses, critics say. Lyft continues to pay, to their credit, the $20 credit trips between New Jersey and New York City. Uber cut it to 16. Of course they do. And so
16 is not always, because sometimes it's 14. It just depends on if it's peak or off peak.
Exactly. Good memory. Yeah, we showed that last week. And so the private toll vehicles are 9. Well, see, if you're a private vehicle owner, first of all, I don't know what kind of sense you have that you're driving in New York, honestly, your own private vehicle, seriously. But if you are, and if you're paying the $9 toll, Uber and Lyft is a lot cheaper, and that's why they lobbied for it. So people forget about their cars and then just pay, take Ubers and Lyfts. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a scheme on both sides. It's not only just Uber and Lyft, but it's also the city itself. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But this is it. So welcome to our world, riders, algorithms, and glitches.
You won't like it. Trust me. You'll want to be in your own car, or you'll want to get your own car. But the reality is, though, it's so expensive in New York just to park your car. You're looking at like $900, $1,200 a month. You're looking at just the driving. The gas is ridiculous if you can find the gas stations and all that shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm waiting for flying cars. So I can say
There you go.
roads. We don't need no roads.
We don't need no roads.
We don't need no
But
stinking roads.
that's right. Anyway,
All right, well,
so
let's move on. Let's talk about they were very much in favor of congestion pricing, but now they are actually suing to stop Colorado legislation.
yeah, they are. They are. So for a lot of you, we actually did a behind the wheel with Senator Kevin Priola, state senator from Colorado. You know, you guys can go check it out. It's on our channel. Senator, I may have to give you a call again because, you know, I was in Denver with Kim and Zach and a bunch of other people, Steve, Rideshare Rodeo, and Kevin Priola showed up to that meeting because I used to pretty much heckle Kevin Priola because he voted against this bill that was introduced a couple of years ago. Then he had a total 180 and said, okay, now actually I am going to introduce the transparency bill, which passed completely. Now that it's going to go into effect in about a couple of weeks, I think. So the Colorado transparency bill has the rider sees what the driver is making and the driver sees what the rider is making. Well, the driver always knew what the rider is making. If you go onto the website, look at the receipt, but the rider never knew that they're getting ripped and the driver is collecting peanuts. So now Uber goes, hold on a second. This is all going to be misunderstood. We don't want the transparency. We were all for transparency, but we're not for transparency. Now they're suing to stop the Colorado legislation in its tracks. And I'm going like, you know who you are. You know, we can talk after this if you like. You know my number. But yeah, I'm going to call Kevin Priola's office again. I actually tweeted it out. In fact, Johan, one of our contributors in New York City, he did a wonderful little short about this thing that Uber goes, hold on. Yeah, we do like transparency, but maybe we shouldn't allow this much transparency. Then I just, you know, we can skip like these couple. This is from Reddit, and this is like a topic of conversation on Reddit. But I sent you a couple of screenshots today, and yeah, that's right here. Uber says, this is what Uber is saying. Listen to this, people. Listen to this. And I tweeted this out. Actually, it's pinned on my Twitter account. Uber says the company is trying to increase transparency on earnings, service fees, and other operational costs. We know that because we do have that new weekly pay, you know, thing now. Okay. But argues that ham-fisted regulations on speech, hello? What does that have to do with the First Amendment? On speech are not conducive to that goal. Speech? Uber? This is not looking good. But it goes on. It says in the lawsuit, we warned the legislature that the bill would have unintended consequences and have filed this lawsuit as a last resort. Senator Priola, I'm going to send you this script, this little segment. Please stand your ground. This is no good, no bueno, Senator. We worked really hard for this. You know what I'm talking about. And if you're interested, go check out that interview. Uber says in a statement through the spokesperson, Stephanie Sass. Stephanie, not only would this law lead to more unsafe and distracted driving.
What?
Holy shit. It would increase confusion, Chris, reinforcing inaccurate perceptions about how much of the fare Uber actually takes.
Oh, no. It would actually prove how much the fare actually takes. It's not reinforce inaccurate. It would actually spit it out right there for you.
And then this driver who emailed me this goes, now that they will be required to show how much drivers make in Colorado to the rider. So the rider goes, holy shit, they just charged me 30, pay the driver 5. Uber is concerned about distracted driving and confusion. Okay, let me Uber, let me tell you 3 things about that. 3. How about distracted driving was not a problem when the 10-second ping is in play? That I am driving and I get a ping, I have to just look at your 10 seconds and decide if I should take that trip or not. Number 2, Uber, how about forward dispatch? And last but not least, one of my favorite topics, trip freaking radar, Uber. How distracting is that? You know, this is the fucking problem, Chris. They put these lawsuits in. It goes to some schmo Joe who has no clue about what the drivers go through, right? Trip radar, forward dispatch, the 10-second ping. And Uber has the face or the audacity to say distracted driving. All the goddamn products you bring on is cause for distracted driving. Now it's distracted driving?
I'm sorry, but how would a receipt that shows you after the ride is complete, how would that be at all distracted driving? Now you're just pulling shit out of your ass.
First Amendment, baby. First.
They're trying to pull the poop peanut out of their poop. That's what they're doing.
What did you say last week? You said something last week that was very funny. Shit. I don't know.
Put a bag of shit on the doorstep and light it on fire.
Yeah. Put a bag of shit on fire. That's what Uber is trying to do here.
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah. I mean, literally first of all, how does it talk about regulation on speech? No, it's making you. Have you ever heard of a thing called a what's the thing that Trump was under? The gag order. Have you ever heard of a gag order? Guess what? You can't speak about certain things when it comes to that. That's what a gag order is. That's what people will sign. It's called an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. So you can't speak on things. So freedom of speech has been limited on certain things when it comes to, these types of issues. How is that speech? By saying, customer paid this, service fee, driver got paid this, a little bit smaller than what the passenger actually paid. Sorry, that's not speech. Nice try. You're literally throwing that bag of shit that's on fire at the wall and seeing what sticks. Let me tell you something. That bag, that shit is in a bag. You throw it at the wall and it's just falling. That's all it's doing.
I hope so. Look, that some lawyers are involved now. They want to kill the bill, and that bill I think is this pretty decent bill. And I had talked about it with Senator Priola, and I'm like, this does not make. See, this is when we're needed with the legislators to go explain to them what distracted driving is on a day-to-day basis on the Uber app as a driver. This transparency thing is not going to cause any more distraction than we already have. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So Stephanie Sass, was that her name? Stephanie? Come on down. Let's, you say that here. We'll have a couple of arguments.
She originally worked at Bud Light last year, around April.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know that for sure. It's a joke. Haha.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Everybody laugh.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I hope not. I hope they don't stop it. I hope they're suing.
You know what?
The last resort.
You know what? No, you know what it sounds like? It actually sounds like somebody typed that into like ChatGPT and said, "Give me a way where I can file a lawsuit," and then just spits this bullshit out. And there you go. They're like, "Oh, we'll run with that."
Honestly, it does, because this doesn't make any sense whatsoever at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The lawsuit is because of distracted driving. Yeah. Okay. Well, this will feed on itself a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty funny. Either way, let's move on.
By the way, let me look. Just 1 second here. I got an email from Lyft. Okay, we know him both. You and I, we both know him.
Mm-hmm.
They watched our segment with the Lyft dress code.
Oh yeah,
they did not like it. They were like, "Serge, seriously?" I was like, "We didn't say there was a dress code. In fact, I thought that was a very constructive segment." Because a lot of drivers said, "Yeah, I don't want to dress like a slob. I want to smell nice, shower, all that shit, right?"
Yeah.
stuff drivers should do. We didn't say there was a dress code. Did we say dress code? That the Lyft was putting on
No,
a dress
we made the inference of a possibility. We didn't state that there was going to be a dress code in place.
They didn't
We
like
said
it.
no, the only thing I said, it could be a slippery slope into having a dress code, but
Okay.
you know, the reality is I think it's something that's good, because if it's somewhere I shop already and I'm getting a discount on it, hey, why not? I'm going to be happier.
Yeah, they didn't like it. They were like,
Oh, well.
Serge, stop. I'm like,
Well, you know
hey, man,
what? Lyft,
I don't think we said that.
freedom of speech. Suck on them,
There you go. That's right. Stephanie. There you go.
Yeah, but Stephanie is Uber, not Lyft. So
Doesn't
either
matter.
way,
Doesn't
freedom of
matter. We
speech,
just
suck
throw
on
everything
me.
to Stephanie. Just throw everything to Stephanie today. Anyway.
All right. Well, either way, let's move on. Let's talk about what?
Driven Dad, Tony's here. Hey, Tony, what do you think? They're trying to kill your bill in Colorado. What about it? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we got to call Senator Priola's office tomorrow. Senator, stop. Help.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Oh, side note, it's 1 month until Valentine's Day. Get ready.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a good driving day.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But either way, let's move on. Let's talk about something that went viral, an extensive list of car rules that a driver has posted. So this is pretty crazy. And going through it,
I'm gonna do an article on this. So for all of you, please go visit our newsletter, www.therideshareguy.com. Free newsletter. I'm gonna be writing about this. My 2 cents about this list. This is in the back of this one. This really did go viral. I can't see for shit, Chris. So if you want to read some of that list,
that's all right.
Right ahead.
How would you like me to read it? Anything special or just in my normal voice?
No, not normal. This can't be, because you're not the one who wrote this. So it has to be in this person's supposed voice.
Yeah, but the question is, what kind of person was it, or what person is this?
Okay,
Do we know?
Okay, hold on a second. This is a male. I'm pretty sure. And let's say he's from the South. He's from the South. Let's say he's from the South.
Okay. Well, let's talk. All right. Greetings. I welcome you as my passenger here in the car. Etiquette rules I require to ensure smooth ride for us. Pets are always welcome. They must remain either in your lap or on the floor at all times to avoid pet hair for the next passenger. Do your best to clean up after your pets to avoid cleanup fees. Keep children safely seated at all times. No kicking seats or playing with doors, windows to avoid tickets. Put earbuds in if you're taking a call. I do not want to hear speakerphone conversations. This goes for social media scrolling and all. I will not turn my radio off or down to inaudibly for your personal or business calls. I do not want to hear your corporate meetings or personal business dealings. Have them before entering one or once exiting my car. No exceptions. Do not ask me to. Do not eat or drink in my car. Water is fine. If you do and a mess or smell is left, it will be reported to Uber, Lyft, and they will charge a cleaning fee starting at $50, no matter how small. Same applies to children. No vaping or smoking at any point. Cover your nose, mouth when coughing or sneezing. If you notice if I notice you don't, it will be reported as a safety concern. This goes for children too. Wear a mask if you're sick. Wearing a seatbelt is up to you. You could potentially be ticketed, however. If at any time you're not enjoying the ride, refuse to respect my rules or feel uncomfortable in any way, I will gladly pull over so that you may request another driver. Ask me to ride away. Thank you for respecting these simple car etiquette rules. Let's enjoy a pleasant ride to your destination safely.
I like it. So, what do you think? I was doing thumbs up, thumbs down while you were reading. Most of it, I was doing thumbs up.
I mean, so I like the pets. Hey, cool, but hopefully they do that. I mean, a pet is gonna jump up or down sometimes, and that can be out of your control.
Yeah.
But if they're well trained, that's even better. Or if they're in a cage or something, that's the bestest. But yeah, keeping children safely seated, yeah, that's fine. I agree with the phone conversations. That is so goddamn annoying.
Yeah.
And then if you are scrolling through, TikTok or something, and I have to listen to every friggin' video that you're stupidly watching, that's very annoying as well. And then as for the radio, I mean, like, I
No,
don't
that
know.
I don't care.
I always keep it as elevator music anyway, so it's more background than anything. So, I mean,
Well, he said one thing in there that says about kids, right? He didn't mention like bring your goddamn car seat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
yeah. Because you ain't otherwise you
Well,
ain't getting in my
they
car.
might actually have the something down there anyway, and we got the car.
Yeah,
No, it's
or-
just, but it don't matter. I mean, you got a back and pick up. You can just get in the back and pick up, and it don't matter. You just sit. We'll go up and down, and we'll drive it on the bumps. You'll go flying up in the air and fall back down. Yeah, it's fun.
Anyway, so I like so this list is pretty extensive. So if this is like a 10-minute trip, by the time you finish reading this,
You're finally at
the trip
your
is over.
destination. Yeah.
So Uber drivers' extensive list of car rules divides opinions. So we should do like a study on this with riders, what they think about all these things. I'm pretty sure
I don't know,
riders
but
will go thumbs down to
what
all of it.
You know what I imagine? That when somebody gets in the car, that this driver just turns around, stares at them, looks at them and say, read these rules, motherfucker. I ain't moving anywhere until you read them.
I am moving a foot until you read my rules. And then by the time he reads the rules, one thing I agree wholeheartedly in this is, them playing their own music super loud on their phones or having that whatever conversation, most of the time, by the way, it's inappropriate conversation, right? It's a couple of girls talking about a guy or a couple of guys talking about a girl at a very high level of obscenity. And I'm going like, I don't need to listen to this shit, bro. I ain't your shrink. You know what I mean? Put your goddamn earbuds in or play your own music in your ear. I don't want to listen to that shit. But this is what we go through as a driver. So I'm gonna do an article on this. I'm gonna put them up. Let's see if some I agree, some I disagree. Actually, definitely when it comes to eating and smoking, not a goddamn chance on the planet.
Well, smoking is actually against TOS anyways, against community guidelines.
Yeah, I guess so. But
so you can blame Uber and Lyft on that one. Don't matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
this driver went viral. And there were a lot of Reddit comments from riders. Some riders were agreeing that, well, it's just, all the left wingers were like, yeah, it's his private car, and then all the left wingers were like, all the left wingers were like, it's his private car, he should be able to do what he wants. And all the righties were like, fuck that guy. So I'm like, yeah, there you go. Anyway.
I don't know. What are your thoughts? Let us know.
Yeah. Well, read the article first. It'll come out in a few days. So.
Well, I mean, on the things that we were talking about just now, because they're in the chat. But either way, let's move on. We're actually going to be going to questions and all of that and some comments. But before we do, we are going to, let me link the show. So we'll get a couple of drivers to come on. We'll get 2 to 3 drivers to come on. So if you'd like to come on the show, we'll do our segment Driver's Corner after we go through our comments, questions, anything like that. So if you'd like to come on, by all means, you're more than welcome. The link is going out right now, so you can come on. We'll take, like I said, 2, 3 drivers, talk for a little bit, and go from there.
This is when you guys get shy, and there's like 300-400 of you here. I don't know how many, and you just a couple must be coming on. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, if you have a question, then come on down. Ask the question, Melissa.
All right, first one. Can you talk about insurance? I mean, we just did. We talked about commercial insurance. I don't know specifically what you want to know. We have plenty of videos though here on RSG talking about insurance and many things about that. So I don't know. You need to be a lot more specific when it comes to insurance. Are you asking how your insurance, how Gap insurance, how Uber and Lyft's insurance, Are you talking about commercial insurance, insurance that you
More
could get for a
contacts,
rideshare
please.
rider? I don't know. You got to be a little more specific there. So if you're still watching, because this is like right at the beginning of the show, let us know, because we can hopefully get you a little bit more information on that. But
We can talk about insurance all day long. We just have more context, please. Because like, if it's about rideshare insurance, please do get a rideshare insurance, because during period 1 you have nothing. So go get it. That's it.
Yep. Talk about the email address for the proper way to opt out of arbitration. We have videos on that. Go back, search. They have them both in the description, and it's said. So go check that out. That will give you the link.
I'll do you one better here. Okay, so I talked to Rideshare Drivers United at the start about Nicole Moore. Go to www.ridesharedriversunited.com. They have templates to automatically opt you out from Uber's last TOS and Lyft's last TOS. They have links. All you have to do is click on the link, put your info in, you're opted out. Please do so. It's easy to do. I've tried it. I think it's great. It works, although we have put links multiple times about this opting out thing. So.
All right, let's move on. How can you tell human trafficking and are reporting to the authorities? There's quite a few things that you can actually do when it comes to it. One, you have to be aware. That's the first thing. Two, you kind of got to know some of the things that are going on. So if you know certain areas are prevalent for it, if you're familiar with it, if you know the hand gestures and signals when it comes to that type of stuff, those are all things that you need to be very aware of. You can ask probing questions as well too. You will definitely get a feel for a person when they're in your car. If there's something weird going on, you'll definitely get some weird feeling about that. So again, it's if you don't have that, maybe you haven't been doing this long enough. But when if you're brand new, I should say, but if you haven't, if you have that insight already, which I'm sure most drivers do, you can definitely know something's weird. So you can start asking a few different questions. Always be very courteous of that. And you know, if there's two people in the car, so one male, one female, or one, you know, older person, adult, and a child, something like that. You got to be very, very careful, and you got to do it very sneakily. So you got to just ask those proper questions, and kind of get it from there. If you suspect anything, you can always, you know, call the authorities. That's
Well,
up to you.
The other thing I want to add to that, Chris, is if the person is on their own, most of the time these trips are going to be guest trips. It's ordered by somebody else. They're putting him in a car, transporting him from point A to point B for we know why. But you know, be on the lookout. Most of the time these trips are guest trips. So the person who is doing the trafficking is usually not in the car. How are Waymos doing? I don't know. There's only 250 of them, maybe max in LA, and the two areas that burned, Altadena and Pacific Palisades, are not in the geofenced area at the moment. They were not in the geofenced area, so I'm pretty sure they're doing fine.
All right, Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. We say it all the time. Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. Just saw a warehouse full of hundreds of brand new Jags being converted into Waymos near Mesa.
I don't know about hundreds, but yeah, Arizona is one of the early adopters of Waymos.
Well, they got a video, so yeah, send it to us. Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. Couldn't we get our own insurance cheaper? Probably. We talked about that.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to look at taxes for the upcoming tax season? I noticed that Uber is listing sales tax and other taxes as possible deduction. Not sure how I can deduct sales tax when I didn't collect it. You didn't collect it, but Uber did.
Yeah.
So that's stuff I wouldn't really worry about.
Depending on your state too, you know, talk to some sort of, I mean, I don't know, you know, taxes should be pretty simple for rideshare drivers. Most of them are going to take the standard mileage deduction. So, yeah, In every state, it may be different. That you may be able to deduct that. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's something I would definitely talk to a tax preparer or CPA on if you have other questions. Anybody who does that, so they can give you a little bit more info if you have any questions. But the reality is, most of the time,
Okay, it's my email, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. There's some people that keep asking. It's simple enough, Sergio, my name, at therideshareguy.com. Can't be simpler. Melissa, if it's about deactivation, I cannot help you. So don't waste your time emailing me about that.
if you want to come to the corner, if you want to corner the Uber and Lyft market and move to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, apparently the tiny town has no drivers. Huge complaints on that in the Facebook group. Interesting.
They will have
So if
drivers.
you're around,
They will have drivers.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now there's probably going to be 12 drivers that are going to be driving there in Gatlinburg. So
Now that you put that up, there'll be a bunch of drivers signing up now. There you go. Thanks. Hopefully you're not there. You killed your own market otherwise. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said anything about that.
yeah. I yell at my app every day, reset your damn algorithm. I know you're listening. I ain't taking those trips that don't make sense. Nope.
Christy, listen, you have to have a go. I urge you to watch this coming Thursday. It's in 2 days, the Behind the Wheel. In fact, Christy, why don't you send me an email and say, Sergio, I want to be on Behind the Wheel, and I'll send you a link. I'll interview you, and you can talk about all your complaints. And Uber does watch us religiously, so it may get somewhere. But you looking at the app all day and cussing the app out is going to set a precedent of not only failure, but disappointment for you and your rider. It's just, you got to have a good attitude. And please watch this guy coming up on Thursday. What a great attitude he has about this. You know what I mean? So,
yep. All right. So let's, I like most points on his list, the entitled two waffle or twat waffles. There we go. They get in the car should be livid if I treated their car the way they treat mine. I now freely kick people out. I simply won't deal with it. Steph, I agree with you. There's got to be some sort of respect both ways.
100%.
And that's the same thing. Like, how would you feel if I came into your car and did the exact same thing that you just did? I mean, have a little more respect. If you don't have the respect, get out of my car.
Yeah, man. My car, my rules. GTFO. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out. Don't be afraid about it. Anyway, so.
All right. As a driver, do you allow pit stops or point A to point B only?
It's not up to you, man.
It depends. It really depends. If it's really slow and it's not really like too out of the way or anything like that, then maybe.
Yeah.
If it's for Taco Bell, no. Like Taco Bell drive-through, no. If
Or
it's
in
like
and out in California.
Gas station, well, if it's the gas station and they're gonna get me something, then sure. Sure, why not? Because then I get something out of the deal.
I'm going to give it to a lot of the riders. Most of the time when they do ask me politely, one thing I will not do, I will not go through drive-through in and out, because that thing is miles long every single time. However,
any drive-through, really.
Can we go through the, drive-through at McDonald's, no line? Oh, do you want something, by the way? Can I get you a burger or something? Fuck it, yeah, just go through it and just get me a burger out of it. It all depends on the situation. It really does. But if you know your area, you know your city, hopefully, and if it's a wait is going to be like 45 minutes in line, no, because you're not getting paid for that. Yeah.
And then also, if it's really busy and you're trying to get rides or do something like that,
time is money.
So it depends. You really gotta figure out what you want to do and your thoughts. I mean, if you really want to have it, say, hey, put it in the app. But if it's right on the way, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Sergio, did you say we need you're a prior driver? We need you out in the field driving daily.
I am not a prior driver. I'm a current driver, TR. I drive about probably 20 hours a week between rideshare and delivery. It's been mostly delivery lately because I'm working on a Prop 22 story. I do drive. I'm not a prior driver. I'm a driver on 7 apps, actually, TR. I fire them all up, and I go, let's see who hits the lotto out of all those 7. So I can't drive daily. I don't have the time to drive daily. I used to drive full time, but I'm not going to work for peanuts. and in California we get paid really, really very little. And I'm like, no. I wear a shirt called Know Your Worth. You got to know your worth. If it's not good for you, delete the app, move on.
This one says, do you believe things like charging cords and
Yes.
inflow placards on the back of seats are a good thing to have? Yes.
Yes. Not like the other guy, not like his whole life story. But actually Pablo, our good friend Pablo in LA, he created these QR codes for tipping outside the app, and he's doing well with those. His tips have gone up 30-40%. So basically, like for his Venmo account, for his Zelle account, or his Cash App, he did like jars. It's like a placard. He hung it on both sides, behind the passenger and the driver seat, and he has his own QR code. So if somebody wants to tip outside the app, they can do it, and his tips have gone up.
Yeah, and stay tuned because there's a video that's going to be coming out on how you can do that, how you can make that very soon. So stay tuned for that because honestly, it can be good. It's just you got to have something that's going to be set up nice. I mean, having something like the rules of the road on there when it comes to what we just showed, that is maybe not going to be going over well. But if it's going to be something that's constructive, like ass, grass, or cash, nobody rides for free. You might get a couple of laughs out of that as a good icebreaker. And you can go on from there. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do and kind of make it. But yeah, I think having those are just good to have in general. Just make sure though, when you do charging cords, they're up front. So then people can't walk away with them because that's a real problem.
How many iPhone charging cords I have not lost, stolen? A lot. Those things are expensive. So definitely listen to Chris. Have the thing plugged into the front. When they yank it out, it's not gone because the next passenger comes, there you have a charging cord. I goes down there because I have a USB port in the back. I look down, it's gone. I'm like, God dang it. They took it again. I'm not, but yeah, definitely have that. I wonder, that last guy that had that laundry list in the back of the car or the back of the passenger seat. I wonder what his driver rating is. Because if I was a rider, I'd read that. I'm gonna ding you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Uber sends me warning messages claiming I'm encouraging riders to cancel rides. Yes, we see that too. It's unfortunately part of the algorithm that is broken. So, yep.
Yeah. Automated messages, garbage. Like, whatever.
Don't fall for that hocus pocus. It's all designed by some psychological coder that says, ooh, I'm going to keep my job this way. So, all right. Well, we're caught up on the comments.
Send me your thing. Let's put you on behind the wheel, Christy G. Sergio at rideshareguy.com.
And again, if you want to come on, we only have Tony, who's in the back room right now.
Tony
wanting to come on, I'm sure. So if you guys want to come on, we'll take one or two more drivers to come on and talk. But with that being said, let's bring Tony on. Tony, you there?
Hey, I'm here. You want to come back to me after I get out of this restaurant?
Sure. Well, we'll leave you on, and then just unmute yourself.
I'll unmute when I'm out.
We want to see your beard, Tony.
Well, if he's working right now, he's
I know he's doing DoorDash or whatever he's doing.
Don't be distracted driving though.
Okay, can I see a hot debate going on between Jeff and some other guy named Brandon? We should put them both on and have them go at it.
They got a 5-minute wait, so I'm
okay. What's up, Tony? How's your beard?
It's doing fine. You might see a video coming up soon.
Yeah, there you go. So
Baby
what's happening?
It?
How you doing? How are the 7 kids? 6? How many kids? 6 or 7? 7? 6?
6. Yeah.
Nothing new? Nothing new on that front?
No.
Okay. All right. So what's on your mind?
Who's going to have the next one next? Tony, are you going to have number 7 or am I going to have number 4 next?
Oh my God. Oh my God. The population of the world, Elon people here.
Yeah. Hey, when you're a little bit more traditional, that happens,
What's on your mind, buddy?
So you asked about that Uber lawsuit thing, and I just wanted to say I've read through like 28 pages of it. and it's a
Ooh.
bunch of whining from Uber. You're restricting my free speech. I'm like, well, free speech isn't protected when it's harming other people.
Yep.
And deception isn't the same thing as protecting free speech. Maybe they could modify what they say about font size, if that's what they're claiming is compelled speech, having to have a specific font size. But to me, it's just a bunch of, they even admitted it. They're like, hey, we don't want people to know how much money that we're charging the customers because we subsidize from one customer to the next, not necessarily that driver's customer that they drove just 5 minutes ago for their next customer is going to be subsidized. Oh, we just put all the money in a pool and then we divvy it up how we want. And we don't want them to know why we do it that way. You know, that to me sounds like a bunch of communist bullcrap. And then they want to use free speech as a defense.
I'm not even sure how free speech applies to this at all, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
I'm not a
they're
lawyer.
saying
So.
that they're compelling them to say something they don't want to say. Compelled speech.
Mm-hmm.
They're
To
trying
show,
to
you mean show the rider what the driver made. That's what the problem is here.
right. They're
Mm-hmm.
trying to say like the Jordan Peterson compelled speech from Canada, where he's compelled to say something about somebody's gender that he doesn't believe. That's compelled speech, but
okay,
I don't think they have a case for that.
I don't know, and I mean, look, I would, you know, what the court did they sue it in? Did like they started with like, let's say, I don't know, like in California, it'd be Superior Court, and then it'll move up, keep moving up. They're just going to probably delay this, right?
Yeah, you know, I've noticed like I'm doing DoorDash right now, right?
Okay.
So I see how much the tip is and how much the base pay is. Uber has split up how much the base pay is and how much of the tip they want to tell me they want me to see. They
Yeah.
don't show me the whole tip.
Yep.
So they're like kind of complying, but they're definitely not complying because when I get the tip in, it's not a separate line item when it's more than what they showed me.
Yeah.
It's a whole one item. Like that tip was that much the whole time, but yet the app still says your customer tipped you more after the fact when you know the customer's not going to tip me 14 cents more.
Yeah, they never do, right? It's not I love that they go, oh, you know, great, nice going, your customer tipped you some more. I'm like, no, they didn't tip any more. Whatever the tip was up front, it was it. You just didn't show it to me, that's all.
Yeah, and I definitely have lowered the amount of rideshare I do because of how much I can cherry pick now, even on DoorDash with having 70% as my acceptance rate. I can cherry pick during the right times of day so that I have access to these large orders and I can see how much each large order is actually worth now. So if it's a large order that tipped me like $4, so it's going to pay out 10 and it's like 6 plus, you don't know if it's going to be 10 or 100. Now I know exactly if that one was worth it. Pass on that one and wait for the next one.
Yeah. So most of your stuff is deliveries these days, or?
I'm mostly doing deliveries unless there's some surge out there that I'm close to, and not like a dollar surge, like $20 or $30.
Are you still renting the Tesla?
No, I'm in a Prius right now.
Yeah.
And have been for almost a year now.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, just Tesla doesn't make sense for how much money I wasn't making on rideshare and how much deliveries I was doing.
Yeah.
So
you know, I'm glad you're doing fine, and the family's fine, the kids are fine, wife is fine, hopefully everybody's good. But I will definitely ring up Priola's office tomorrow because this doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And the other thing is, whoever lawyer, whatever that was went to, the court has no clue what Uber is talking about when Uber says it is dangerous, or right? I mean, you know, everything in the app is dangerous,
right.
man. What are you talking about?
Exactly. I'm like, you're arguing that this is dangerous for them to read while they're driving, well, then why
Yeah.
are you sending me orders or trips while I'm driving and trying to get to the destination? And I have
Exactly.
like 3 turns to take in the next 4 seconds, and you're covering all of them up with a stupid request
Yeah.
that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
mean, not for
100%.
me because I hit no new requests, but you
Yeah.
know, nobody really knows how to do that as a whole of us drivers. Just the ones that are on YouTube or maybe in Facebook groups or whatever. But most drivers, they don't know how to work all of that stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And but I will talk to his office. They're pretty good responding. Let me see what he thinks about this thing. Because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, the excuses are the excuses, but
It's
I don't know.
to me, it was just a let's kick the can down the road tactic that I seen in all of the other legislations. The surprising thing to me is that they didn't get Lyft, Uber, or Lyft, DoorDash, or Grubhub to co-sign on that complaint.
Yeah, because I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever. And when was the law? Do you know when the law was going to go into effect? A couple
It
of
went
weeks,
into
right?
effect January 1st, and I think certain parts of it have until February something.
Okay. Okay.
So they started doing this stuff right before New Year, like the week before New Year's Eve. In between Christmas and New Year's Eve, they started changing what the app looked like, and I think that they were testing things out. I think they're going to try to get a whatever the court term is, but getting them to kick the can down the road and wait until they have to in the last minute of maybe getting a overturned ruling, like they were able to continue Prop 22 in California finally.
Yeah. Like the viewer just said, I hope this will open a whole can of worms on them about distracted driving. Bear Claws, I'm gonna make sure that it does actually.
Yeah, they definitely
Yeah.
put themselves at risk with that
Yeah.
whole
I'm gonna
like
definitely
whatever
make
8
sure.
pages of talking about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Like,
definitely make sure about that. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
and we just have a no hands law now that went in effect as well. So, that's
oh,
going to be very sensitive. Like, oh, you're actually making people read lines for like if they don't send us trips while we're driving, then surge will go up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they shouldn't be allowed to send us trips while we're moving.
That would be interesting, actually. But no, I'm definitely going to put my 2 cents in there because this doesn't make sense whatsoever. They're contradicting themselves, right? It's going to be, it's dangerous, it's this, it's that. I'm like, bro, it's already dangerous, super dangerous when I'm driving with your 10-second ping and your, forward
Yeah,
dispatch
that's
and
one
trip
thing I didn't
radar and all that shit.
understand. Like
Yeah.
the rideshare one should have had the same request a requirement as the delivery one.
Yeah.
Delivery is like 60 seconds to make
Yeah.
a decision. I'm like,
Yeah.
they should have at least give us 30 seconds to make a decision on the
Yeah.
road while we're moving.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, that may be the next battlefront. But thank you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Stay healthy. Be safe out there.
Definitely. You stay safe out there, and you and your family and all the drivers out there in California.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
Bye now.
All right, see you, Tony.
What is going on? You have like 500 of you here. Nobody else is going to take it? Because we're
I
going
don't
to
know.
shut it down.
Everybody's scared. It's not so
All
scary.
these keyboard
Just nobody
warriors,
bites.
bro.
Nobody bites hard.
All right. You guys have 2 minutes
Well,
to
here's
grab the link
deal.
and
Here's
come
the
on.
deal. Well, here's the deal. Next
Yeah.
week, we want a couple more drivers. It's good to have Tony on. Haven't seen him in a little while, so I'm glad to see he's doing well. So thanks for coming on. But yeah, let's get some more drivers on so we can get a little bit more conversation going.
Yeah,
So
man.
next week,
Okay,
we'll
so
have
this is the problem. This is the problem. Okay, so when they put stuff in the chat is flying, right? They think we see all of it, and they go like, "Yeah, I don't have anything to say. I put it in the chat already." Honestly, nobody knows what the heck you put in the chat when it's moving that fast, right? So grab the link, come on down, and we'll have a little conversation. But anyway, yeah.
But either way, yes, it'll be an interesting, great behind the wheel coming on Thursday. That was with a driver that came on last week on Drivers Corner. So We hope that more drivers will take up the challenge, which isn't really a challenge. You're just coming on having a conversation with us on, this time of the show. So with that being said, I think we're going to have to wrap it up then.
Okay. Yeah, they don't want to come on. They want to be shy. They want to play hard to get. It's okay with me. Okay, so if you're interested behind the wheel, email me. Again, my email, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Email me with anything you have, screenshots, some glitch that you discovered. Oh, hold on. I think we have to debate. Hold on a second. Hold on. Brandon driver's Uber, and where's Jeff? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yes,
Brandon,
we can
you
hear
there?
you, but we cannot see you. You're in the dark.
Sorry, he might be driving.
Oh,
I have my laptop closed.
Oh, no worries. How you doing?
hello, Brandon. You're the one that sent me that Perfect Passengers video that called you a whole bunch of names, and I sent it to you, Chris. Did you see that video? He sent me.
No, I haven't yet.
He sent me.
I saw the email. I haven't watched the video yet.
Yeah, he sent me his dashcam footage. That's the one. That's you, right?
Yeah, that happened last night.
Oh yeah, so she yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, because I actually have the PIN number setting activated.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, here in Tulsa, there's a lot of what I suspect people that have either been kicked off the platform or for whatever reason don't have their own account, and they'll be using someone else's account just randomly.
Yeah.
So, I have the PIN number it doesn't really prevent anything, but it does add like that little hesitation at the beginning, which is what happened last night in the video. She had to call the guy to get the PIN number. I'm like, no, that defeats the purpose of it.
Defeats the purpose altogether. Yeah.
Of the PIN number, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
We got another one. Jeff, how you doing? Or Jeffrey.
Did you and you were called a whole bunch of choice names by the person who ordered the trip for her, like, and then I thought he was going to punch you out actually, because he came like leaned into your window, and I'm like, yep, it's about to go down.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't make any verbal threats or any other sort of aggression towards me. So I really, honestly, no crime was committed. He was just really disrespectful.
Well, he called you a bunch of choice names.
Yeah. And so obviously in the video I was on with Uber support, chat only.
How did that go?
It's copy paste. We'll block them in the future. That's it. So then after I ended that conversation, I opened another one with the safety team or whatever. And I sent them a link to the YouTube video, and I actually got an email this morning with the same copy and paste. We're going to review their account and see if they deserve access to the platform. I'm like, all right, whatever.
So for the next time, hopefully there's no next time, Brandon, but my suggestion to you is you stood there, you waited there doing that. I would drive away, about a half a mile or a couple of blocks, pull over, and then do the safety call or the chat, whatever. Because you don't know what this idiot is capable of. He could have come out with a bat, smashed your car, whatever. There people are crazy these days. So that would be my recommendation to you.
No, yeah, you're absolutely correct. We're all human, and there was a part of me, I think, that wanted the fight after he said what he said. So
no, don't do that.
No, it's a bad example. It's a bad example. Don't do it. But I think that was what my thinking was, and sitting there. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, but thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. I did send you the video, Chris. Check it out. It's the
I have it. I just haven't had time to.
That video, it's pretty interesting, and I'm like, holy shit, it's about to go down. But anyway, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Take care. Jeffrey, you're next.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Sergio. How are you doing?
Good.
So my day, it started off amazing. I actually had a Go Share job already reserved for this morning. I was moving a bunch of furniture, made like with the price of the job and at the $40 tip, I out of the gates this morning I was like $130 after like 2 hours. So I'm feeling great. I'm on cloud 9. I'm like you, Sergio. I'm on 7 different apps, which I have a couple of questions for you. Like, what are you
Okay.
on?
Okay.
But then the rest of the day just kind of went to shit. I couldn't,
Yeah.
like, the algorithm is so screwed up right now. There's so many drivers on the app. I'm in Orange County. I've been on the
Okay.
show before. I'm down
Okay.
here just south of you in Orange County. Um, the market is completely saturated, oversaturated. Now they have that feature on Lyft where you can see nearby drivers. You turn
Yeah.
it on and it looks like, I mean, the whole screen is
Anthill.
just an anthill. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So that leads me to my first question for you. Did you
Okay.
notice, and maybe you guys talked about it earlier in the show, they've reduced the EV bonus from 150 a week to $100 a week for 50 rides. Now I don't know if
On Lyft?
everybody sees that, but I drive a Volkswagen ID4 and
Okay.
all electric. So from Lyft, ever since I got this car a year and a half ago, I've been getting the $150 bonus per week. All I have to do is complete 50 rides. I've been doing that for them. I make sure I get my 50 rides in. I get my $150 bonus from Lyft. Turn on the app after the New Year's, and now it's only giving me $100 a week. So not only are they
Oh,
shaving the fucking pay down, excuse my language,
sorry about it.
but they're taking away the bonuses now. So I've prioritized Lyft. They're like number 5 in the queue for me now.
Mm,
I've done 2 Lyft rides today. It's for me, it doesn't make sense. Now it's weird because I'll get some weird, like, $70 ride going up to LA, which I can easily get rides up in LA. Whether they're
mhm,
worth anything, I mean, that's another question. But it's not like they're sending me out to Riverside, and I'm gonna have to deadhead back to Orange County. uh,
mhm.
but I was just curious if I know, Chris, you drive an EV, and I'm
No,
not sure what your car is.
Now,
No,
Chris
no,
is
Chris.
completely against EVs, but
Oh,
I'm
okay,
going
my
to
bad.
check. I haven't heard that from. I would have gotten email immediately if they cut it from 150 to 100.
Yeah.
I have few people in LA County who drive Lyft mostly actually and have EVs. I'll check it out. Maybe it's an Orange County thing, and I'll let you know. Shoot me an email. Remind me of the
I will.
question, Sergio at therideshareguy.com, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'll get your response.
And then my next question for you is what are the 7 apps are you on? Are you on Roadie?
Yep. No, I don't
Okay.
have Roadie. I have Curry.
Okay. I
I
haven't got
like
into
Curry
Curry.
more than Roadie. I'm on DoorDash, Spark, Shipped. None of these I use, although I do use DoorDash. Uber Eats, obviously. Lyft. I have Instacart. I hate shopping for myself, so I very rarely look at it. All the shopping ones, I rarely look at it. So my main 3 would be Uber Rideshare, Lyft Rideshare, Uber Eats, DoorDash. Those are the 4 that I'm going to use. Curry is great. If I see, I live in the San Fernando Valley. If I'm in the city, I would put Curry on because it's mostly like Sherwin-Williams, couple of 5-gallon paint jugs going 3 miles in between other trips that I can do. Curry is good for that in LA anyway. So yeah, those are the ones. I mean, honestly, all these apps, bro, they come, they go. And Curry has a waiting list, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but I got on maybe a couple of years ago.
Well, and I don't know if anybody who's in the chat also drives for Roadie. I was excited to finally get approved and start driving for them in November. Their like minimum ride for like a 1 mile CVS prescription delivery was $8. So you can just camp outside of a CVS and just cherry pick, prescription deliveries all day long and make really great mile per mile earning. Um, but then again, after the new year, it comes in. Now they're like $8 or $6 and like 40 cents now, $6.80. So those have even gone down. It seems like it's across the board with all these gig apps. They're just shaving more and more bonuses, shaving more and more pay. When everything else is going up and our costs are going up, and we should be making more. Everything's being
Yeah,
shaved down more and more. So
yeah,
it's a bit frustrating because, like I say, I was super pumped today. Got in a little workout, moving that furniture, and I was ready to have a $400 day. And I'm lucky if I can scrape and hit my goal of 250.
yeah.
I'm actually
I mean,
sitting.
look, we know all apps are under Prop 22 in California, right? I unequivocally, I can tell you that the apps are set to give you about $22, $23 an hour,
Yeah.
and that's your top off level. And I mean, unless it's surging or New Year's Eve, whatever, all it's different. But on base, if you're going to work base rates, they're going to set you right about that 22, 23 an hour level. And
so are they all talking with each other? How do they know that?
They don't have to. No, they don't have to, but they have what has unfortunately become is that minimum that they advertise has also become the ceiling.
Yeah.
They can.
Because normally I'll switch, I'll do Lyft in the morning when it's surging and people are trying to get to school and work in the airport, and then I'll flip over to food delivery. I'll do DoorDash. I'll do Uber Eats, and then I'm doing my roadies. Occasionally I'll pick up a Go Share, but then it just like I say, I figure if I'm making too much on Lyft, then they're just going to shut me down and they're not going to give me any rides. And so I just kind of don't even worry about those. But now that they've cut my bonus, I don't even care about.
But luckily you have a bunch of them, right? So you need to also kind of look out for yourself a little bit. And there's no reason to do rideshare in lunchtime. Fire up Uber Eats, fire up DoorDash, do some stuff there. You need to also move, roll with their punches as well, right? And in one thing that on delivery with Prop 22 is, you will make more because of the generosity of the consumer, and if they tip, you can cherry pick some really good tips. Not only make money on Prop 22, but also get the additional tips. So, if you're a full-time gig worker, right? Rideshare in the morning when it's busy, food at lunch, rideshare in the afternoon, food for dinner time. So you have the apps. You need to go with the flow, man. I mean. But unfortunately it's true. Yeah, they will throttle you when you make like $70 an hour. They're gonna throttle you. There's no doubt about it.
My last thing, and then I'll let Adele get in here. Revo.
Yeah,
you've heard about Revo?
I heard about it. I don't know anything about it, honestly.
It's almost it's kind of like a multi-level deal where you build your downline and you get driver referrals and customer referrals, and I didn't know whether
there is a bunch of them out there. The problem with all these new companies, I'm all for competition, except that they don't have the marketplace ready, right? You can turn your app on and leave it on, you will not get one request. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
your guy can't make money. These two companies have the market. DoorDash, Uber, Lyft. They have the marketplace. They created this. It's dependable. I'm not telling you you're going to be profitable. You will make money with these apps. It could be cash flow. It could be whatever. But the other apps, it's just, there's no reason for the consumer or the rider to use another app. They're offering you everything on these three apps. So why should anybody switch to Revo or Y-Ride or all these other apps? I am all for it. But then what are they going to do different for you? Nothing, right? So they don't have the marketplace. So you're not going to, do anything. You can leave an app on. I don't know, but I don't think you're going to make money with it.
No.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Be safe.
And we'll see you next week.
All right. Be safe out there.
Bye. Bye.
Last but not least, Adele. What's up, Mr.
Hey, what's up?
San Francisco?
What's up, oh, you should be here, man.
doing?
It's very nice weather. Very good. Very good. Hi, Chris.
Hi. How's it going?
Very good, man. Very good. So I switched a little bit. So I emailed you a long time ago, or a while ago, that Uber in San Francisco, they use a taxi cab. So I decided to take it and try it for a month. And really, it's really very good. Like the cut, they take 15% of the fare, and their receipt is just the fare and the booking fee. There is no other expenses, external expenses or internal expenses.
So you turn your car into a cab?
Oh no, it's a cab. You have to rent a cab, and
you have to rent a cab. Okay.
Yeah, and you have to have an account with them as a cab driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you need licenses or something for that? Different licenses and stuff?
You have they call it a card, which is not easy to get. It's like 3 days process, and you get it very easily.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so it's better than driving for Uber, being a cab driver.
It's like when you do that, it's like you have the airport access for pickups, and you have Uber, which is they pay honestly like 30 to 40% more than the Uber X for the same ride.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's like so far the minimum fare for like half a mile, it's $7.20.
$7.20?
Yeah, that's the cheapest I have got for the whole month.
So you're switching from Uber to Lyft to cab.
No, from it's what happened. Like you rent a cab,
Yeah.
and you open an Uber cab account with Uber, which is gonna
Okay.
be like to use the cab.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to use the cab vehicle, the taxi.
So Uber doesn't have the algorithm that it has on its own app for the cabs. It has a
No,
different one.
it's an Uber app, but you
Okay.
have to have an account with them as a taxi driver.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
we should talk about that.
I took some screenshots, and I'm gonna email it to you. You're gonna be shocked from the amount of money they pay us for the same price. It's like 30-40% more. And
Wow.
I do black Uber Black too, and it's actually the same thing like Black.
Wow. But
Yeah.
how busy is it though? Are you doing trips though? Are
It's
there any trips?
non-stop.
Shit, man. Are you guys
Yeah.
listening to? Okay, you know we should do it behind the wheel with this.
Yeah, I made some screenshots, and I'm gonna send it to you, and you're gonna be shocked from the prices they pay.
Okay. Yeah, send it to me. I'm interested. I mean, look, man, if you can do it, just why not? Like,
Yeah.
how much is the rental of the cab, by the way?
It's $900 a week, but
Wow.
yeah, but you get the access for the airport for the cabs pickups, and you
Okay.
get the taxi dispatch. There is a lot of calls too, which is like meter pay, not algorithm, and you
Okay.
get an Uber access.
900 is steep, bro. Do you pay for gas and on top of that?
It's a hybrid car. It's like $25 a day. It's not much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like renting an Uber Black car, like an SUV.
But you make more than Uber Black. I do Uber Black too, and I switch from Uber Black to taxi.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I know you know your numbers, so I'm not going to question that. But
Yeah.
that's that seems a lot. But then once you send me your, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for a month.
Okay, so 900, that's 3,600.
I was
Well,
paying more than that for
you need to tell me that this is a good deal. Like you need to prove it to me. It's a good deal. Like say, okay, I made like 10 grand, but I paid 3,600. Whatever, right?
I'll send you my statement at the end of the week.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I'll actually, I'll do an article about that. That makes kind of sense. Hopefully, I know you know your numbers because I know you're a member of the other channel. So if you're a member of my finance channel, you better know your numbers. But yeah, that's all. I mean, that's interesting. Seriously interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And actually, they're expanding. Right now, there is only one taxi cab company, which is a Flywheel. They do this. Now they're going to expand to Yellow Cab, other companies.
Okay. All right, cool. Good to know. Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
No problem, man. Anytime. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one.
All right. We make 10 grand on Uber and Lyft. Really? That's all right. All power to you. Come on behind the wheel. Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Go for it. Let's see if you do it. Send me your screenshots. Send me some earnings screenshots. Sir, madam, whoever you are. But anyway. All right. Ready to go, buddy?
Oh, yeah. All right. With that being said, have a great rest of your night. Good evening. And we'll see you guys next week.